Something is brewing in the depths of our planet. The Pacific Ring of Fire is showing increased activity. The figures are alarming and scientists agree something unusual is happening here.
We're going to take a close look at what's currently happening in one of the most dangerous earthquake and volcano zones on Earth and whether we need to be worried. So make sure to stick around until the end. A warm welcome, everyone.
The Pacific Ring of Fire is more active now than ever before in recorded history. And when I say active, I mean really active. We're talking about a statistical spike that dwarfs anything researchers have seen before. Which of you have ever been to one of the countries located above the Ring of Fire? Indonesia, the Philippines, Japan, Russia, and so on? Feel free to write me in the comments, I'd be interested to know. And of course, I'll keep you up to date on all upcoming developments here, so why not subscribe to the channel? It's free, you'll never miss an exciting natural event again, and you'll be helping me out a lot.
And if you've already subscribed, giving this video a thumbs up really helps. Let's try to hit 5,000 likes. Thank you so much, everyone.
The Pacific Ring of Fire is a gigantic geological zone, approximately 40,000 kilometers long and up to 500 kilometers wide, which spans the Pacific Ocean like a giant horseshoe. There are between 750 and 915 active and dormant volcanoes in this region. That's about 2/3 of all active volcanoes worldwide.
And here's the kicker, about 90% of all earthquakes worldwide happen right here. Why is that?
The Ring of Fire is not a single geological structure, but was created by the subduction of various tectonic plates at the boundaries of the Pacific Ocean. Put simply, gigantic tectonic plates rub against each other, collide, and push under each other. This friction generates the raw energy that drives both earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. And the danger, millions of people live in close proximity to these active volcanoes. When geologically significant events occur there, the consequences for the local population could be devastating, and currently, the data is causing geologists concern. On May 2nd, 2025, 47 volcanoes were simultaneously in active eruption status, one of the highest numbers in recorded history. What really worries geologists is clustering, the accumulation of large eruptions within a very short period of time. This points to possible interconnected geological processes. The volcanoes erupt almost simultaneously in clusters, with some even showing repeated episodes within weeks or days. Indonesia is at the epicenter of this volcanic awakening. The country recorded an incredible 6,508 volcanic eruptions in 2025. Several volcanoes were involved, including Semeru, Dokano, and Merapi. Semeru in East Java topped the list with 2,500 eruptions. The situation is also particularly dramatic at Mount Ibu. This volcano erupted 28 times in a single week with sustained seismic activity. Authorities raised the alert level to 4 and evacuated about 3,000 people from 6 villages near the volcano. Since January 1st last year, Mount Ibu has recorded 1,079 eruptions, sending ash columns between 300 meters and 4 kilometers above the summit. Over 1,000 eruptions in barely 3 weeks. That is absolutely extraordinary. Merapi, one of Indonesia's most dangerous volcanoes, also made headlines. On October 1st, 2025, researchers documented a pyroclastic flow that led to a 5-kilometer exclusion zone. The volcano is located directly above the densely populated island of Java. When Merapi becomes active, an entire region holds its breath.
But the Pacific Ring of Fire has also flexed its tectonic muscles in other places. On July 29th of last year, an earthquake with a magnitude of 8.8 occurred off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula in Russia.
The earthquake itself was catastrophic, but what happened afterwards was extraordinary. On August 6th, the Institute of Volcanology and Seismology of the Russian Academy of Sciences reported that 7 Kamchatka volcanoes had erupted as a result of the earthquake. This was an event that had not been observed in this region for almost 300 years. The director of the institute described it as an extremely rare phenomenon that could be called a parade of volcanic eruptions. One of these volcanoes was Krasheninnikov. Its last eruption took place around 1550. It had been silent for almost 5 centuries until the earthquake woke it up. 4 days after the main quake, Krasheninnikov awoke from its 500-year slumber.
How do researchers keep track of everything amidst all this chaos? The short answer? Through a combination of ground-based sensors, satellite imagery, and volcanological observatories around the world.
Volcanic warnings are issued by scientists at volcanic observatories and are based on the analysis of data from monitoring networks, direct observations, and satellite sensors. The US alone operates 5 regional volcano observatories, and similar facilities exist in Japan, Indonesia, Russia, and other countries on the Ring of Fire. These observatories track seismic tremors, ground deformation, gas emissions, and thermal anomalies. When a volcano exhibits unusual behavior, scientists raise its alert level. Satellite technology has revolutionized volcano monitoring. Scientists can now detect subtle changes in volcanic heat signatures or ground swelling from space, often before a visible eruption occurs. This gives communities valuable time to evacuate. What is striking about the current volcanic eruptions around the Pacific Ring of Fire is that they were often preceded by earthquakes. According to the US Geological Survey, large earthquakes can trigger nearby volcanic eruptions, but only if the volcano is already close to erupting with enough magma inside and sufficiently high pressure. The Kamchatka earthquake did not create magma out of thin air, it simply gave already charged volcanoes the final push. Russian seismologists also attribute the eruptions to the earthquake, which activated the magmatic chambers and provided them with additional energy. Like shaking a pressurized soda bottle, the earthquake simply blew the cap off.
One of the warning signs that scientists look out for are so-called seismic swarms, a cluster of small earthquakes that occur in rapid succession. Japan's seismic monitoring network detected an unprecedented pattern of earthquake swarms along the Nankai Trough.
The Japanese Meteorological Agency reported over 3,200 small to medium earthquakes in the region during the first quarter of 2025 compared to only 800 in the previous year. These swarms often indicate magma movements deep underground. When molten rock pushes upward, it breaks the surrounding rock and creates tremors. The more intense the swarm, the higher the probability of an imminent eruption. The Kamchatka earthquake followed a 10-day sequence that began with 50 quakes of magnitude 5.0 or greater, including a magnitude 7.4 earthquake on July 20th and 3 magnitude 6.6 earthquakes. The buildup was massive, a geological drumroll before the main event.
The question that now arises is this just a temporary spike or the beginning of a longer-term escalation? Scientists have observed that the frequency and intensity of these eruptions exceed the normal statistical patterns seen previously. Traditionally, researchers expect volcanic eruptions to be relatively isolated events.
A volcano erupts, releases pressure, and then becomes quiet again. However, the period from 2024 to 2025 shows volcanoes erupting repeatedly, sometimes several times a day over long periods of time. Mount Ibu is a perfect example, erupting over 1,000 times in a single year. This is, at least since measurements began, absolutely extraordinary behavior. This sustained activity suggests that something deeper is going on. Perhaps large-scale magma movements beneath several volcanic systems or changes in tectonic stress distribution. Scientists are now feverishly trying to understand this. The entire Pacific Ring of Fire recorded over 15,000 earthquakes of magnitude 4.0 or higher in 2024 alone, an increase of 23%. Each of these quakes can destabilize volcanic systems or trigger secondary hazards, such as landslides and tsunamis. So while monitoring systems work over time to track these geological processes, the question remains:
is this a temporary increase or the beginning of a longer-term tectonic crisis? To be honest, no one knows for sure yet. But of course, I'll keep you updated on any further developments. So make sure to subscribe to the channel now, and don't forget to give a thumbs up so we can hit 5,000 likes. And speaking of mysterious discoveries in the Pacific,
Russia and China recently found something super exciting at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, something that revolutionizes our understanding of the origin of life on Earth. You can find out exactly what lies hidden in the deepest depths of our planet in the video displayed at the top right. Be sure to check it out for the original footage from the bottom of the Mariana Trench. As always, you'll find another video about science and space at the bottom right. Otherwise, I'd say see you in the next video. Take care, folks.